All right, it's media day. We are talking 9-6A with Garland Head Coach Danny Russell. Danny, this is one of the deals that you look at this district, nothing's changed. I mean, obviously the Garland ISD is going to stick the same. You guys invited the Wiley teams in a couple of years back. They were good house guests. They paid their share of the bills, so you let them stay for a couple more years. Talk about this district and who you see as your main competition as you're trying to fight through and get one of those playoff spots. Because in a 9-team district, you got to get started right away. I mean, you only got the 2 non-district games, and then everything's for real. So talk about this district and who you might see as a favorite.
Well, we were kind of surprised to see the district stick together like it did. I mean, there were so many rumors about how it was going to split up and different and everything else, but we're glad to have Wiley in here. I mean, those are good guys, and they're great teams and good competition. As far as competition, I mean, I fully expect Saxe to be the number 1 team in the district this year, and I would think that Wiley East would probably be second. I think once you get past that point, then I think it becomes very much a toss-up, because I think you're going to have 6 other teams that are all pretty even, pretty well balanced, could beat any given person on any given night, with us being one of those. But I think those 2 will be the class of the deal, and then it'll be a fight for the last 2.
Yeah, that Saxe team, and now that you brought it up, and I got all these bobbleheads behind me. There's a Jordan Hudson bobblehead back there. Kind of reminds me of the Garland couple 2-3 years ago, where you had so much top end talent there that everybody's like, okay, well, Garland's probably going to be the one that wins it, and then let's see who fights out for the other playoff spots. But when you play teams like Saxe and Wiley East, it's a deal where you pretty much got to make sure that you can get some turnovers, get that ball turned over once or twice just to get in those games and try to stay in them. Is that kind of what you're looking for? Because I know you're a little bit inexperienced on the defensive side of the ball compared to the offense. Is it a deal where you try to reach in there and strip that ball out 2-3 times and maybe give yourself a short field?
Yeah, I mean, you need good things to happen. I mean, when you play teams like that, you need a positive kick return, or you need an extra turnover that you normally don't get. You just need something to happen, and that's a great thing about football, is those things tend to happen when they're not supposed to, Right. So obviously we put a lot more emphasis on turnovers this spring and getting the ball out, and our defense coordinator Kelvin Perry has done a great job with that. I mean, I fully expect us to have more turnovers than we had last year, and it's not that we were poor at it last year by any stretch. We just it's going to be more important for us this year.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the defense before we move on to the more experienced side of the ball. Defensively, obviously, you have Aiden back, who was the newcomer of the year, but you only have 5 returners coming back. Talk about what you're looking for as far as a position where you need players to kind of step up and take more of a leadership role and lead that defense.
Well, I think for us, it's in the defensive line. I think we'll be very solid at the linebacker position. I think we'll be very comparable to what we were in the defensive backfield last year. It's the defensive line that's going to be some issues for us. We've got a couple of good kids in there, and one of them was a sophomore last year. But he blew his Achilles out in the North Texas camp, so he's gone for the year. So that's a bite in the butt. But
Right.
I mean, we've still got good kids there. I mean, we're just going to be more of a grinded out team. We don't have that real flashy guy up front that can defeat anybody that they line up against. It'll be, we'll have to play a lot more games stunt wise and multiple fronts wise and things that we do to try to create a little bit of confusion on the offense.
And then speaking about the offense, that's where a lot of your talent's coming back from. How excited are you about the offense, and who you looking for to kind of step up there? Because it looks like you got a really good wide receiver core coming back. Is it another deal where, I mean, you mentioned about the defensive line. Is the offensive line where you want it to be as far as in the trenches experience-wise?
Well, Coach, you're not going to like everything I'm about to say right here, probably. Okay. But all those kids that you're looking at on our offense, most of them are not here anymore.
Really?
Yeah, Coach. We had 4 offensive linemen coming back from last year.
Yes.
One of them has given up football.
Oh,
one has transferred to Berkner. One has mom is not letting him play because he injured himself last year. And then one transferred to Plano East. Coach, most of our kids that you see on that offensive side of running back,
Yeah.
a couple of receivers, all the offensive linemen are at other schools now.
Really?
And that's all happened since May.
Wow. How do you, I mean, that leads me to another question. How do you absorb a blow like that? I mean, is it a deal? Maybe that's why the couch is behind you, because you're trying to figure out who's going to fill out these spots, or is it, how long did it take you to get over that and then easily move on?
It's not completely over right now, because some of those kids are going to end up in DEC hearings because several of those transferred for athletic purposes.
Right.
They were recruited, and parents fell into that, drank the Kool-Aid and all that other stuff, and off they go. But I mean, we've got 3 sophomore kids we're going to start on the offensive line this year, and they're all good ones, but they're all sophomores.
Right.
They were all freshmen last year. And you're going to have growing pains with that. We still have a quality running back, but when you get right down to it, I mean, we've lost 8 offensive starters and two defensive ones that would start for us this year. So that's 10 kids out of that varsity locker room.
Wow.
So that hurts you from a depth standpoint on everything that you do, special teams and everything else. So it's been a very, I've never gone through anything like this before, but we're going to do the best we can. And I fully expect this. I'm going to be honest with you. I fully expect this. If we mature through the year like I expect us to, and we're capable of, I fully expect us to be in the hunt for a playoff spot.
Yeah. A playoff team. Trial by fire. That's what it's going to be. And each week's going to be another battle. But if anybody can do it, you, Coach, you got the pedigree for it. So just get ready for 18-hour days, I guess, and you'll be able to figure it out. But I appreciate you joining me, Coach, man, and good luck in the season. I know we're less than a month away, and to you it probably feels like 5 seconds away from the start of the season. But we're going to get started here, and I appreciate you joining us.
Anytime. I appreciate you.